A constant struggle with you.
I don't know.
Okay. We're back.
We're back.
Where were you before?
Away.
Spilling
somewhere.
water all over me. We've hung out many times, but there's been at least 2 times where we've gone out to eat, and you just knock liquids on me.
Well, the first time at least it was on myself.
I asked the waitress, I was like, can you get her a sippy cup, please? But this time, it's like we went out to eat after we saw the movie, and you're just like, "Ah!" I'm like, that's cool. Now I can actually pee my pants and no one will know. Alright, we saw Song Sung Blue.
Yes, we did.
Which, there's only, how many days are left in the month?
handful.
4 days left, 3 days left in the month. I think this is in my top 5 favorite movies of the year.
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not a big rom-com guy. I'm not a big like feel things person. You know, I like to be dead.
You don't say.
I like to be dead inside. No, I cry easy when it comes to movies. You were more visibly crying. I was more like tearing up.
Aww.
I had seen this. Did I send you the trailer? Did you know anything about this?
I only Googled it. So.
Thanks for taking a part in my life. My interests.
I Googled it.
It's Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Who's Wolverine. It's
With long hair.
yeah, Kate Hudson, who's the daughter of Goldie Hawn, and you didn't know who Goldie Hawn was. Whatever. Fisher Stevens, who for the longest time I thought was Indian, but isn't actually Indian, from the Short Circuit movies and the Super Mario Brothers movie. Jim Belushi, John Belushi's brother. Who else is in this movie? People. Yeah. I saw this documentary a long time ago, and it's about a weird relationship of 2 Midwesterners who become a Neil Diamond experience. They're not a cover band.
Not a cover band.
And their weird relationship and the people around them and the meteoric rise to opening for Pearl Jam to then the horrifying things that happened to them.
Oh my god. I'm glad I didn't watch the trailer though, because I might have known.
Yeah.
And
it comes out of, like, in the documentary you're watching, you're like, oh, this is fun. This has got like a Napoleon Dynamite kind of vibe to it. And then all of a sudden you're like,
oh no.
yeah. I loved this.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, I just was so taken with the Midwestern of it all. So much neat framing. You know, like just like back to back and stuff like that. There's just a lot of like little film tricks that I was like, oh, it's so obvious, but it works so well in something like this. And it's really funny and it's really sad, and it's about creating.
Yeah.
And that's like the biggest thing is I'm watching it and I'm like, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, like yeah, you have all these people, these different people you meet in different parts of your life, and everybody comes together to create something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best part about life.
Well,
It's
how
crazy.
about that?
Wow.
Come
I mean, well, close second.
I'm still a virgin, so I don't know. What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. Like you said, they had great chemistry, and it sold the relationship. And I love rom-coms.
Yeah.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I really enjoyed it. They had a really special bond on screen, and they did all the things to make it dreamy and adorable. Until the terrible, horrible things
happen. But even then, like, there's a scene in there that was like, oh my god, he's like, there is no lightning without thunder, and he's like, I don't have a song without you. And it's like, I've been there before. I've been there where the person that inspired the art is no longer there anymore, and you're like, this isn't even fucking worth it anymore, you know? So, like, in that, it's like, wow, that rings insanely. Oh, Michael Imperione is as well. Christopher from The Sopranos, who was also in a trailer we saw before it. I was like, oh, it's Christopher from The Sopranos. There was like another. There's a trailer for a TV show
Oh.
that was before it with McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy or
Oh.
Mystic Pizza or Thanksgiving. But yeah, I was like, oh, it's cool to see Christopher doing stuff. But yeah, if you extrapolate the Neil Diamond-ness of it all, because I've never been a huge like Neil Diamond is one of those things like everyone knows that those songs,
Yeah.
you know, and it's one of those. I always think about like imagine writing something that makes so many fucking people happy and lives forever.
Yeah.
You know, you go like, how do you know, it's like when like David Bowie dies or Prince dies, like, how do you mourn somebody who's going to live forever?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like, it's like, how do you mourn the immortal? And it's like, yeah, like Sweet Caroline's a song that everybody wants. Oh, he has so much more than Sweet Caroline. But that song makes everyone happy.
It's true.
I've been to like black weddings, white weddings, Indian weddings. People play that fucking song, you know? And it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, that's just something that like somebody wrote something that encapsulates the human spectrum of love and joy and all that. I was like, wow, that's crazy. That, you know, like how do you do that?
Yeah.
You know, I remember seeing like and again we went to Fridays before we came here. I've had a couple drinks. And we were talking about like music and stuff like that because like Shaka Khan was playing and the Buggles, and you didn't know the Buggles, and Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. And I can't play music, I can't sing, I can't dance, but something about when music came out and who sang it and little things like that have just stick in my mind for some odd reason. So it's just like,
You're a facts guy.
yeah, no, but I don't want to be like. It's more so like I remember where I was the first time I heard these things. Where like it made like I remember where I was. I still remember where I was the first time I heard Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, like I don't know what this is, but this is important for some reason. You know, I always tell people like Plan 9 from Outer Space, considered one of the worst movies of all time. I was in 4th grade. I was in Albany, New York. It came on late night TV, and I saw I saw Vampire and Tor Johnson, and something in my mind went, I don't know what this is, but I know this is important for some reason, and how it would become part of my life later, you know? And it's like, it's weird things like that. Like, I remember where I was when I heard, you know, discovering Michael Jackson the first time. I remember exactly where I was standing when I heard Nirvana for the first time, you know? And it's just one of those things, like, I can't play it, but it's become such a part of my life that it's like, I think I said this in a review before, that, like, music is the closest thing to time travel that we have, because I can think of a song and get brought right back to a moment and a smell or a person and something like that. And it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, again, I'm not a huge Neil Diamond fan. Obviously, Neil Diamond wrote music for the Monkees. I love the Monkees. I almost lost an eyeball. I told you that story. But it's like, I remember every year when I was dating Christy, we would go to a Valentine's Day dance that I don't know what her dad was part of it or something like that, but it was at this church. And there was this band that was there every year, and they would play, and then Sweet Caroline would come on, and other ones. And it was like, I remember so distinctly those moments. So whenever I think of Neil Diamond, I think of her, you know?
Yeah. Even in my little bar of miscreants that listen to punk rock music and, you know, bluegrass and all that stuff, every night at the end of the night, we would play that song.
Yeah.
And we would play Take On Me by
Okay.
AHA.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Journey's like that as well. It's another one of those bands
Journey, yeah.
where it's like, you know, Don't Stop Believing is like the white people anthem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
But it's just one of those things.
Well, Wagon Wheel.
Yeah, true. Yep. But it's just like one of those things. It's like, how do you? I remember for a long period of time, like I got really like thinking about like how do you create something like that? How do you create Bohemian Rhapsody? You know, like I'm a writer and I don't have enough sarcastic quotes to put around that, but it's just like one of those things where it's like how do you create something so perfect that when the bombs drop, somewhere along the line, someone's still going to discover that. You know what I mean? And we were talking about the best things are the things that you kind of discover by accident, and they become part of your life. Channel scrolling or flipping through the channels and stuff like that back when in an analog world and all that. But I was like, yeah, there's so many songs that like in an age before the internet, I'm like, it goes like this, and then you have to keep asking people until you find
Oh, I
the
hate
thing,
that, yes.
you know, or movies.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh my god, this movie, and it's like this and this and this happened, you know, and it's like that's missing anymore from our world because now everything, you know, you have a computer in your pocket, you can discover anything at the drop of a hat. But there was something about those things that stick, you know, and this was a beautiful film of two people who, you know, it's outsider art. It's what the reason I love Ed Wood. It's the reason that I love American movie and something like that. Anything where like people who on their own are weird, but when you put them with someone, they fit. You know, and it's the same thing with all the bands. He's in a black band and he's in a cover band, and all those things come together. And oh, the one guy just so happens to have a choir. You know, and it's
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and it's just like all these things that like eventually, like Slumdog Millionaire, like all those things that you've encompassed in your life are all going to eventually mean something and click for something, you know. And it was just these two souls that like, you know, and anybody else would be like, oh, they're weird or they can't do this, but when they come together, they create something that people see themselves in, and they go like, no, this is beautiful. This is folk art, you know. It's like people who do like chainsaw sculptures or something like that, you know. And you know, he has a heart condition, and she has a pill problem. He's a 21 year or 20 year
22.
20 well
At the
22 at the end.
Yeah.
Alcoholics Anonymous. He's going, and you were asking me if I'd ever been to a meeting. No, I never had an alcohol problem. But you know, I've known some people who have. But it's just one of those things where it's like you think you find what's it like? Is it Japan or China where like if you have a broken thing you put gold in it?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's kind of what this movie reminded me of a little bit. It's like these broken people, and they were the gold for each other.
Aw.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and to also see people like who've wanted something so badly get that moment,
Yeah.
and to even have it be it leads to bad things, but you have that moment, you know, and that's absolutely beautiful. And you know, I was telling you before, I was like, all I want to do is make movies or make comic books or something where like I can give all my creative friends jobs and they never need to worry about anything ever again other than just being the fucking weirdos who, you know,
Make stuff.
made stuff with me and compliment me and everything, you know, because you're working with Fallon tomorrow, and people know, you know, Fallon and I love each other, but sometimes I want to strangle Fallon, you know, and I'm sure Fallon wants to strangle me, you know, but it's like you find all these people who, you know, you and I met by accident,
Yeah.
you know, you just, Mark and Jess were like, hey, this girl wants to come work on set, and I was like, yeah, whatever, fucking care. Then you're like, I'm gonna help you move, and I was like, yeah. And now we hang out, you know? I'm blinking Morse code. I'm doing the Macarena
For your safety.
to get for my safety. Because there's like, what we were watching, a thing about like hand signals. You're supposed to know that women are like in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it was?
Uh-huh.
And that I don't know what those are, so I just start doing the Macarena and hope someone saves me from you sexually abusing me.
He's been doing the Macarena since August. I don't know what this is about.
I don't know. I'm scared. No one's gonna help me. I just keep getting taken advantage of.
Oh no.
But yeah, no, this was beautiful, and it was all those things about, you know, I love movies about making movies. I love movies about artists, but I mostly love things about outside artists. I love like the folk art people and all that. I love the idea of just people coming together who were destined for each other. Like those two were like, you can tell that both of them had a talent but when they come together, their talent makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really, really beautiful, and it made me like think of all the people in my life who've, you know, come on and made something of mine better or something like that, and you know, to see them have their moment, even though things go bad, I'm just like, I know, but like, I would rather have that moment than never having that moment, you know, because she gets hit by a car. As things are going good, she gets hit by a car and she loses her leg, and she falls into pills, and they're kind of falling apart. But like the music is the thing that keeps them strong and together. And this was like, I don't know, this was beautiful. Like it was really, really
It was.
a beautiful film, and I don't say that very often with modern movies. And I love Hugh Jackman. Crystal and I saw him in The Boy from Oz on Broadway.
Oh, wow.
And I'd never really known that he was like a song and dance man. I was like, oh, he's Wolverine, you know?
Yeah.
He's good. Kate Hudson's great in this. Everybody, even the son who never combed his hair properly. The daughter with the beautiful eyes. But I even like how like their relationship changed from like her being like don't make a mess on the couch kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and to what they became, where she, you know, she says she's like every time you touch your chest, it hurts inside. You know, and that really got to me. It's like this is this person that's trying to keep these people together because she realizes what their bond is. You know, and that's really like I don't know. It gives me hope that sometimes that there's still good people in the world and there's still stories left to be told, you know, and you look at how like the world's a fucking dumpster fire and you go like, yeah, but like there are still people across race lines, color, sex, whatever, who can come together and through film, through music, through whatever and find each other and the idea of found family and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, wow, like it's very rare that the end of the year I find a movie that means so much to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything to add?
No, it was
No?
beautiful.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And it's just so interesting that like such a deep feeling came from a Neil Diamond
Exactly.
cover. I mean, they say they're not a cover band,
Yeah.
but like it's, you know, really a cover band.
Mm-hmm. But it is, again, it goes to that idea that someone creates a music that it may not be for everybody, but everybody knows it, you know? And that's the, you know, the thing. It's like, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're into hardcore rap or metal. You know those songs. You know who he is, you know? And it's just like, that's that thing. It's like, sometimes it takes something transitional that we all know and we all take for granted, I think. I want to cry now. Something that we all take for granted that kind of shows you the gel of it all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have let me have that second drink.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then spill water all over me.
Well, that was to wake you up so that you could be more.
Oh, to drive.
Yeah.
It's
See?
all icy and horrible outside. So, no, this was absolutely beautiful, and I loved the whole crux of it. The reason that the song sung blue. It's not a happy song. It's not a sad song. I love that framing device, you know, and I love just the way that they start back to back and then they become. It's a lot of that like little visual things. This is the director of Black Snake Moan and Hustle and Flow, which I think both those I think are fucking incredible. I didn't see his remake of Footloose. I thought it was a bad idea to remake Footloose, but like Hustle and Flow is great. It's about a pimp who wants to become a rapper.
Oh.
And it's how like this guy who's like, you know, he's living hard and hoes and all this kind of stuff, but he has a song. He has something inside of him he needs to get out.
Yeah.
You know, and then Black Snake Moan is Christina Ricci, is a girl who's has past sexual abuse, and she's triggered by that, and she, you know, has sex, and he finds her beaten up. Samuel Jackson finds her beaten up on his property, and chains her to his radiator, to basically try to like break her, and like not like break her in a bad way, but like of this sickness that she has, and get her back to what, you know, who she can be.
Yeah.
And it's really fucking good. Justin Timberlake is in that movie. Those are both awesome. If you've never seen Hustle and Flow, I definitely recommend it. It's hard out here for a pimp is the song from it. It's the dude who was the original roadie in Iron Man, and DJ Qualls is in it and stuff. But yeah, no, that's a great movie. But I like that director a lot, and I was like, I thought it was interesting that he was making this because this doesn't really have that southern gothic hip hop sense to it. This is very white bread,
Oh yeah, all American.
all American, and but it's like, oh yeah, no, like the Korean guy who owns the thing loves Neil Diamond, and like, and the black group loves Neil Diamond. It's just one of those things where it's like, I love the idea of transcendence. I love the idea that, the kung fu movies became really huge in the black community. I love, Star Wars, whatever, which would be something that like black people would have no fucking interest in, like space lasers, And it's just, I love those things that kind of catch and become something that we, as a tapestry of people, own. And Neil Diamond is that, It's weird to say that,
Yeah.
because he does have some songs that I love, the stuff that he wrote for the Monkees and all. But like, even we were talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it uses the Holy Holy song in the trailer and stuff like that, and the way that it's used in the movie is like, oh, it's so fucking good. But the way that it works into this movie, you're like, oh yeah, that would be the catharsis of it, and yeah, I really, really, really fucking like this movie. Like, I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff this year that I enjoyed. I loved Weapons. I loved Sinners. I really like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. And I know people it's down on liking Marvel stuff, but like those are up there with me. And this one I was like, wow, this is something I didn't expect. But from seeing the trailer, I was like, oh, I want to see this. And this isn't the kind of movie that I usually go and see.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Something about it struck a chord with me, and I really, really
Yeah.
getting emotional from it.
I
You
could
know?
see that.
Yeah.
It was really powerful, and
Mhm.
I think you struck the right chord when you said that it's about the art that needs to come out.
Yeah.
And I feel like with this couple,
Mhm.
that was the art
Yeah.
that needed to come out.
And that they needed that one needed the other.
Yeah.
They were never going to be as great as they could be without each other.
Yeah.
And that's interesting, and that's something that like I think about a lot with some of the people I've created my best stuff with, and the people who've inspired the best stuff from me. It's like, some of those people might not be in my life anymore, but it's like I would have never gotten that idea out had it not been for that person inspiring it.
Yeah.
And there's something about that, and the ending, he passes away. Spoiler alert. From a heart attack. But she is able to go back out and plant flowers in the spot where the car hit twice. And it's like, but how do you go on after that? That's like, I understand where they left it. I understand the thematic element of it, but it's like, how do you live without that? Because she lost a limb, I'd imagine that'd be like losing two.
Yeah.
Because I think about the people in my life who passed, and I'm like, I'm not the same person without them, and even if like our relationships have changed and stuff like that, but it's just nice to know that that person was always a text away or a Facebook message away or something like that. And now it's like the older you get, life stops giving you things, start taking things away from you, and it's like I look at the end of it, it's like it's beautiful, but it's also sad. Like you'll never have, you'll never have that song again. You could go create with other people.
Yeah.
I'll make some shit with you. If I have to. But like, I don't know. There's just something sweet and beautiful and sad about the entire thing. And I don't know if if you watch me, if you give a fuck about these kind of movies. Usually I talk about superhero movies, horror movies, exploitation movies, stuff like that. This is definitely outside of the wheelhouse for a lot of people. It's a Hugh Jackman musical drama comedy sad love story, But like I was so engrossed with this so early that I was just like, obviously just the music and stuff like that, but I was like, man, I really like these characters, and even though I'd seen the documentary and know where it's going to go, I was almost hoping the movie didn't go there.
Yeah.
I was like, I know where this is going to end up, and I kind of don't want it to go there. I wanted more of them, you know?
Yeah.
So, Song Sung Blue. So it was very, very good. It was very sad. It was very beautiful, though. And, yeah, I'm okay crying in a movie. You were crying a lot more than me.
I was, yeah. Shout out to the NYX setting spray.
Yeah. maybe they'll sponsor us. You know, you were visibly leaking.
Yeah, I was very near sobbing in certain parts because I mean, like you said, the family that you find, and I struggled with being an alcoholic for 18 years, so his story really hit hard for me, and finding a family after something like that.
Yeah, it's one of, I mean, it's like, and it's also, it's like, I think about that a lot. I'm like, I wish I met these people early. I wish I knew you when I was young. You know? But it's like one of those things where it's like, maybe if we met those people earlier, it wouldn't have hit the same way.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted more. Like, I wish they would have discovered each other sooner. You know, and it's like, but it's like they found each other exactly when when the universe said they had to, you know?
Yeah. It was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was very good. It was very good. I try not to get emotional in reviews anymore because everybody makes fun of me about the Whale.
Oh,
I went to Christmas Eve to see The Whale by myself because it was right after everything happened, and I was just fucking broken and bawling my eyes out. But then again, I reviewed the movie. Did you ever see Tusk?
Yes.
I reviewed Tusk, and then somehow my Tusk review turned into Star Trek 2, and then Star Trek 2 made me cry.
Oh.
Yeah. Because that movie's about, like, you know, coming to terms with the fact that, you know, the people who've been with you on your adventure eventually are going to leave, or it's their time ends, and then you have to continue on without them, you know? That's that's sad.
Yeah.
But no, Hugh Jackman was great in this. Kate Hudson was fucking fantastic in this. I think everybody's great. I really, really enjoyed it, and I recommend you see this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's it. Do you have a favorite Neil Diamond song?
Caroline.
Just say Sweet Caroline. Whatever. All right.